fandom. You are listening to NH Unscripted. This is not the last farewell. I am your Roger Whittaker-like host, Ray Dudley. Woo, baby. Had a great time on my vacation. This is part 2, by the way, of a previously heard episode. And before we get into all of the minutia, you are listening to us on your Sony Walkmans. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM. Those are Concord-based. 101.9 FM for the souls in Manchester who we love dearly. And yeah, we got a URL. Come on, get over it. NHTalkRadio.com. You want to be cool, you'll go out there and check it out. Lots of things happening out there. I'll tell you a little bit about that later. I need to thank my sponsor, Lakes Region Fence. Okay, look, dude, you got to suck it up. Go outside. Look at what you are considering to be a fence. No, it is not. Welcome to the world of reality. That thing is a hazard. Might have to call in the hazmat teams for that one. Get that thing out of your yard. You know, what if some kid fell on that thing, punctured themselves? Get rid of that fence. LRFence.com, Lakes Region Fence in Guilford. They're going to help you out. They're your best friend. Yeah, trust me, they are. LRFence.com. You can go out there and get a free estimate. We love free. I love free. Yes, get a free estimate. You can go out and take a look at all of their previous work. I've done it. I've been on their website. I've been on their work site. It is exemplary. Come on, treat yourself. LRFriends.com. Matt and his crew, they really, really do good work. And I'm warning you, it's a 4 to 6 week wait, is from what I understand. That's how good they are. Get out there. LRFriends.com. Matt, we thank you so much for sponsoring this show, even though it goes off the trails once in a while. Yikes. The folks from Cruel Intentions. Trying to figure out if they're from actor-singers or if they're from ACT. I think we're nailing it down. Angèlica, are we nailing it down?
It is ACT.
It is. Huh. Well, who'd have thought? Really? Why don't we go around the room one more time and just introduce ourselves since we're doing another episode here. Let's start with Mackenzie/Heather.
I am Mackenzie Goodwin. I play Cecile Caldwell.
Not Heather.
Not Heather.
Okay.
No.
I'm Angèlica Rosenthal.
You
I
are.
play Catherine Mertoy.
Mm-hmm.
I am Garrett Meyer, and I play Sebastian Valmont.
So, we spoke, if this comes out before the show goes up, why don't we give a quick overview? Garrett, you had a beautiful summary of what this production of Cruel Intentions is about. Why don't you regale us with that one more time?
Yeah, so for folks who don't know what Cruel Intentions is all about, it is essentially a 90s musical that is based off of a 90s movie that itself was based off of an centuries-old French novel, Dangerous Liaisons. So it's a great show about essentially two high schoolers that are entangled in the life of Manhattan socialites who are very disillusioned with the world and enjoy playing games with other people. They're manipulators at heart. And so my character, Sebastian, essentially decides to go on this one big conquest since he's gotten so bored with being around other normal people. He wants to go ahead and essentially get with this girl who is the new headmaster's daughter. Annette is her name. And so that brings out a whole lot of new emotions that he hasn't felt before as he starts to become interested in this person. And that is essentially what the big crux of this show is all about.
It's the path. We're watching him as he's on the hunt.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit.
Creature in the wild.
That's it's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
So does the play just disintegrate? Does it just go like down and down and down and down into dark places?
I think it starts with, one web that becomes more complex. And so it's
like the way you put it up.
Every web just starts kind of stacking on top. And then it's like these characters who you didn't expect to ever have conversations are now having relationships. And it becomes very interwoven.
Is it well written?
It's
You
extremely
think it's,
plot-wise well written. Dialogue-wise, it is extremely 90s cheesy dialogue.
I see.
It is almost verbatim, a lot of the lines from the movie.
Yeah.
And as a child of the 90s, I forgot how really bizarre dialogue in that time was.
Are you saying there's like catchphrases and stuff from the 90s that...
I have a sick Star Trek reference.
Oh, yeah, you do.
You want to drop it right here?
Sure. It's when I'm talking to my stepbrother about how he should pursue Mackenzie's character Cecile, and my line is, "Be her Captain Kirk Valmont and boldly go where no man has gone before."
Well, and does he take that to heart?
Well, I will say, as an actor, it's very fun being on stage and really having to be grounded in the script and not break character when I have my co-actor Angèlica with me saying that into my face.
Is that written into the script?
It is. Yeah.
It is.
Oh, yeah. And I have to sell it with so much passion that it's going to convince him to go pursue her.
How do you keep a straight face during
It's
rehearsals?
hard. Well, I think the biggest note in that scene is, you need to slow it down. I was like, I just want to get through this. Like, please.
So the note is they're wanting the audience to catch the reference.
You have to really milk it. Well,
Yeah.
that whole section is me just trying to convince him in kind of a seductive way to pursue her on my behalf. And it is special. I have some other, like, you have a Wizard of Oz reference.
I do. I do break out the Dorothy, we're not in Kansas anymore. So really...
And I have a silly rabbit that is really in a
sounds personal.
very serious part of the show.
It is.
What?
It's very... The dialogue is very interesting. It's not... It's a show that wants to be taken seriously, and it is at some points very serious, but then it will break out these...
highly rooted in the 90s cheesy, campy dialogue.
Exactly.
I mean, you have...
Yeah, I
you
make
have
up a
lot
little
of
song.
Ickies. You have a song.
I do say icky a lot.
Yeah.
What? You do?
But I personally say icky a lot, so it's not that weird for me.
But I
And
think...
Mackenzie's character has a song that she makes up about our friendship.
So is this... Do you... I don't... Okay, I got to unfold this. Hang on. Yeah, my brain needs to unfold.
take your time.
Do you think those references are in there unintentionally funny, or were they put there to help kind of... Because it's dark. And so they trying to add some levity to it so it doesn't get quite so
They
dark?
were all those lines were in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were
So
all
that's-
originally there. So
So they took them seriously.
I would argue that my lines and your lines are very
Yeah.
seriously intended.
Yeah. The way that I see it personally, because I hope that the authors of the piece knew what they were doing when it comes to some of these lines, because I think the 90s charm is that we as characters take what we're saying so seriously. We don't see any humor or irony in any of the words at all. But as audience members, you have an inkling as, oh, this is a little weird. So I think it helps because it's not to be taken so seriously by the audience, but we as characters are still living this reality. So it adds to that kind of charm, in my opinion, where it's campy to us as the audience, but as characters, we're still very, very committed to this reality that we, ground ourselves in.
And all that stuff in the 90s was that. You go look at like an episode of like Buffy the Vampire Slayer or something like that, and the dialogue is that. And so it to me, it's kind of this time capsule of the 90s.
Well, that was smartly written then, when you think about that.
Yeah. Well, and so Sarah Michelle Gellar played my character in Cruel Intentions, the
she
movie.
did? Oh.
And so, which was a very big change for her in the 90s. But it is all in that same vein. And especially, I think Cecile's dialogue is very naturally of the 90s.
Yeah.
For good? Or for better or for worse? What?
For accuracy of the character.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
So what do you think the audience is going to take away? At the end of it, when they go home, are they going to be like, dude, that was just so upbeat? Or are they going to be going home going, dude, I feel like killing myself?
I don't know if it's that dark.
It wouldn't surprise me. I've seen Hand of God.
Well, Hand of God was nothing. For me, Sebastian's death at the end is the best thing that can happen to anybody. he's a terrible person. He is abusing women throughout the show. He is a huge sexist, horrible person. And for me, the hero of the show is the taxi driver that hits him. And they do try to do this big redemption arc of he fell in love, so he's a good person, and I don't buy that. I think that if he had continued, he would have, in 3 weeks, been the same bad person he was.
From your lips, you said him dying is the best thing that could ever happen to
Mackenzie
someone.
was 100% on my side on that.
Oh, hang on. Here's your dance shoes. We're tap shoeing out to a break. You are listening to NH Unscripted. I am your host, Ray Dudley, and we are coming to you from the, let's see, where are we? My favorite Martian-like digs of the WKXL studios in Concord. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM on your Sony Walkmans. 101.9 FM for you beautiful people in Manchester. NHTalkRadio.com is our URL. Yeah, we got a lot more to talk about. Wouldn't think so, but we do. We'll be right back. The bottom of this mine is a big, big man. You have found NH Unscripted. I am your Jimmy Dean-like host, Ray Dudley, and we are coming to you from the My Mother the Car-like digs of the WKXL studios in Concord. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM. All Concord-based, all new transistor radios, 101.9 FM in Manchester, NHTalkRadio.com is our URL, and we are still talking about Cruel Intentions, the 90s musical happening when?
So the show is the weekend of August 2nd. It is the following weekend as well, through August 11th. It is going to be at the North End Montessori School in Manchester, and tickets can be bought on the Hatbox website since we are partnering with both them and the Manchester Community Theatre Players.
Does anybody know the Hatbox offhand, the Hatbox URL? It's hatboxnh.com, .org, .net, .something.
I'll get back to you on that.
We'll have
Thank
people
you.
look into it.
Yeah.
I'll have my people call your people.
So, there are almost no redeeming characters in this production. Is that true? Are people going to be walking out and go, I need a shower?
I would describe the show as Everyone's Horrible the Musical.
Yeah.
I think that is honestly like a fair description. I think Mackenzie.
Who writes a play where nobody's likable?
The French Dangerous Liaisons. I think Mackenzie's character, and maybe Annette too,
Yes,
is probably
yes.
the most redeeming. I don't think your character is really out to get people.
No.
But she's still not clean. Is that what you're saying? She's
No,
not.
I don't know that I'd say that.
Yeah.
She is the victim of what we're doing.
Okay,
She's
okay.
a textbook example of the type of person that my character, Sebastian, and Catherine go for. They're an innocent victim in all of this.
Naive,
Yeah, naive, doesn't really know the ways of the world like we think we do. And so as a result, she is often, the comic relief.
And she also trusts us. And
Yeah.
that's, I think, where your character kind of is always not this horrible person that everybody else seems to be.
Yeah.
So your character, Garrett, is just reprehensible. Mm-hmm. And your character, Angèlica, is not quite reprehensible?
I'm not committing as many crimes as I think his character is. I think that my character's motivation of this, inequality, feminist vibe makes her a little better than him, because it's really, again, this, he can go do whatever he wants, he can go sleep with whoever he wants, and there's no repercussions. But if I do that, then my whole life is ruined, because that's all the value I have as a woman in this time period. So, though I have to be on the side of my character, and I know your character deals with mine a lot, and I would probably say that I'm also a very large villain in the show. I think that he is worse because he's doing it because he can.
Do you
And it's
think
fun.
if in another world where things a little bit differently, would she be as evil as him?
Yes.
She would.
Yeah.
And just worse, or just there's something psychologically wrong with them. Obviously, it's an
sure.
understatement too.
We're just having fun.
having fun.
It's all one big game.
It is. Life's a game. We play it.
Go ahead.
But I think because of societal strains and inequality, she can't be herself, and that oozes so much resentment against him and the other men in the show that it becomes that she's destroying Cecile because of that.
Really?
Yep.
Really? So the frustration of not being able to do what she really wants to do
To just be yourself, to express yourself, because it's
foisted on
looked down upon. I mean, I have this great monologue at Garrett of like, you get to do whatever you want, and if I do that, then I'm dumped for people like Cecile who are innocent and twits, and for me to be intelligent and confident in my sexuality, that's so looked down upon, and I have to be Marsha Brady to be respected. And I think a lot of those themes still ring true today. Maybe they're not as extreme as they were in the 90s, but when we look at it in the 90s, and I know Mackenzie and I talked about a lot of the sexism back then, it was so paramount that women's worth was very much being pure, and it was this purity culture thing. And guys were the complete opposite of how many people can you be in a relationship with, and then but the garbage is if you guys are all in these relationships, who are you in relationships with, and you want these pure people? It's horrid. And I think Catherine is this really iconic feminist character. And though she comes off as a villain because of the time period she's in, I stand by a lot of what she has to say.
So you're defending what she
has to say.
Yeah.
Not necessarily what she does.
Correct.
Two very distinct things.
Yeah.
Correct.
So are these like extremes? Is there like an extreme character like yours, Garrett? And then on the other end, would it be Mackenzie?
I would say so.
Yeah. Mackenzie, what's happening in your mind this whole time while this is going on?
Yeah, well,
Wait, did you say earlier you play the cello in this?
I do play the cello.
Please tell me more about that.
Yeah. I was nervous. I'm not very musically inclined when it comes to instruments, but Angèlica is a cellist, and it got to a point where I was getting a little too good at playing the cello, and they had to dial it back.
Wait a minute. Did
Yeah.
you really just boast about that?
No, it's true. She's supposed to be really bad, and so I was like, we'll see what happens. And then I'm sitting watching. I'm like, I think she's too good. It's becoming like I can definitely recognize the song, no problem. She's like really confident in playing.
Oh my God! How long did you have to practice?
A month.
Yeah.
I think we were working with the cello for about a month.
You went from zero to being them having to rein you back in a month?
Yeah. I think what it was is I was just good at acting like I knew how to play cello. And it turned into just being fine at cello. I wouldn't say I was good by any means, but I was certainly better than I was supposed to be.
It was too good.
So what's your character, what's going on there during all of this craziness, this whirlwind of depravity on one level? Where are you situated? Are you like the central point where everything, like, they got to put you there to kind of let everything else go around you and kind of you're the calm of the storm?
Yeah, to an extent. I think for Cecile, she's nervous about going to this new high school. She's coming out of an environment that's very different, and she sees Catherine come in as this guiding light for her.
What's the age difference between the characters?
So I'm probably about 17 or 18, and she would be about 14 or 15.
Okay.
So Catherine serves as this kind of guiding light, and Cecile sees her as like her best friend. She's helping her like get ready for high school, and she's talking to her about boys. So she really trusts Catherine and falls into trusting her really quickly, and has no idea that Catherine maybe doesn't have the best intentions.
And Catherine is Cecile's first kiss.
Yes, yeah, Catherine is Cecile's first kiss.
Ooh.
And then Catherine encourages Cecile to like use Sebastian to get ready for her first boyfriend, who is Court, Catherine's ex. So Cecile thinks that Catherine is doing this out of the kindness of her heart. And that's maybe not the truth.
It's definitely not the truth.
Yeah.
Oh my God. There's so much happening. How do you keep it on? Well, obviously it's written.
We
well,
help each other a lot. So we keep it straight. I don't know how many times I've been like, here's your prop. I know you're about to go right back on. Here you go. We're helping each other.
Oh, there's quick changes like that?
So every scene is a different day. So
a different day?
We especially Garrett and I, have a costume change every scene.
Okay.
It's the worst. It's a lot.
I've been through some quick costume changes. They're not fun at all.
No.
Are you like one of those who has to wear like multiple
We
clothes?
can't because there's so many revealing costumes in the show.
Yeah.
So you were able to layer a couple.
Yeah.
But when it comes to him and I, we're also, the way they did it is we're in like suits.
Yeah.
I saw
Which
that.
is not normally how like teenagers would dress, but that is how they designed it. And like you're in a turtleneck. It's the dead of summer. I feel for you, sweetie.
Oh, yeah.
But like,
It comes across very preppy-ish.
Yes,
Preppy,
yeah.
Oh, it is a
schoolish.
very preppy
So I
high
could kind of
school.
see where that would fit
a
in.
boarding high
Yeah.
school.
It's the details of the high school itself is unclear, but it is supposed to be this very affluent, this is a private, rich people high school.
And Mackenzie is our costume designer for the show, actually.
Really? Congratulations.
A lot of school
Cellist,
uniforms.
costume designer.
She does it all.
I
A
know.
woman of many talents.
Do you the theme is going to be a little bit disturbing for folks, and you said you have a warning that you will preface the play with.
Mm-hmm.
Is there somebody actually coming out and giving that warning, or is it in the program?
So it's
or-
on all of the posters.
It
It's
is.
in the program. Normally, if it was just an ACT show, we would have put that in the pre-show, but the Hatbox does our pre-show, so I don't know that that'll be in there.
So how close are you working with Andrew? How is that working?
Me personally,
Well,
not
the
super
yeah,
close.
yeah.
Tom is probably working a lot closer with him as
Yeah.
the producer, but
Okay. Oh man. Okay. That's the music. We have to take a break. We have to. You are listening to NH Unscripted. I am your glad to be out of bed host, Ray Dudley. You are listening to us on your Sony Walkman, 1450 AM. I hope, or 103.9. I hope in FM in Concord. 101.9 FM for the beautiful souls in Manchester. NHTalkRadio.com is our URL because, we're cool and we have a URL. Talk to you a little bit more about that in a second. We're going somewhere else here when we get back. Beat. Dude, we are uncovering a lot here. Welcome back to NH Unscripted. Whew, it's not just me and my Bobby McGee. No, sir. I am your Janice Joplin like host, Ray Dudley. You are listening to us 1450 AM, 103.9 FM in Concord, 101.9 FM in Manchester. And you know we love you down there, folks. NHTalkRadio.com is the URL. We thought we were done talking about Cruel Intentions. However, things have come up in the break. Other topics. So, Garrett, your nasty, filthy, reprehensible character has now, you told me, has even another layer to it.
Oh, yeah.
What is going on, man?
So, my character Sebastian, we haven't talked about this in depth yet, but there are two other characters in this show, Blaine and Greg, who are men that are homosexual, and one of them is closeted. They are exploring what it means to be gay and what it means to come out. And then the other one is very confident in who they are. They know, they share a lot of characteristics with my character, Sebastian, in that we're very manipulative people that enjoy playing around with other people. So in that sense, the character Blaine gets some kind of satisfaction with playing around with Greg, who is not openly out yet and is still exploring around. So my character, in one of his very classy acts, decides to blackmail Greg, who is still closeted, to basically threaten to say, hey, I know your secret. I'm going to go public. Unless you tell me, and this is all just one
You're
big...
downplaying this a lot.
What?
You're downplaying this. You set up
Are
the
you
two of
kidding?
them
He
in
is downplaying
a
this?
situation. Of Sebastian comes in,
Yeah.
takes a bunch of pictures,
Yeah.
Polaroids, so they're coming right out, and then has them ready to go. This is not like he's downplaying it.
Well, I'm just trying to keep it friendly. You know.
It's not.
I know. But yes, it is. It's all one big piece that slots into this ever-changing web. So it's bad.
It's rough.
He's
It's bad.
Most reviling characters.
Yeah.
That's what I said. The hero is the taxi driver.
My God.
Yeah, we're starting to really,
My
come around on that.
My goodness. So this guy has no limits. Right?
No.
He's literally unguarded. I mean,
right. And I mean, that's one of the challenges, right? Because this character is so deplorable in what he does, and trying to find that one little piece of him that is grounded in, with his relationship with Annette, the headmaster's daughter, who he does, or at least he thinks he does, genuinely start to have feelings for, which he really has never had in this girl. And so he's trying to figure out what that means for him in trying to be with this girl that he initially was just going to manipulate and just another girl that he would use and get rid of. So it's trying to find that balance, which is very, very tough for a character like this who is outwardly just so awful, right?
Yeah. So,
well, I think the other thing we haven't mentioned is that he journals and documents everything he does.
Yeah.
What?
And so that's what...
Wait, he's keeping records of all that he has done?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. He has a little diary, and at the end of the show, after he's died, Mackenzie's character, Cecile, hands copies out so that everybody sees it. That's kind of how my character gets taken down, because there's a lot about my character in his diary, or his journal, I should say. But this is all well documented and then released at the end of the show.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
So,
he's a psychopath.
Yeah.
He's a psychopath.
Yeah, apparently so. But he finally gets on this upward arc a bit, and then the taxi driver comes in.
Right. And I mean,
thank God.
Yeah.
And it's difficult, right? Because, separating a little bit fiction from reality, we know that this guy is just awful and terrible. But I think it's interesting to an audience trying to find those, like I was mentioning in the other episode, trying to find those moments of seriousness, of genuine reflection of maybe this is not who I want to be. Because we do have occasional moments where I am coming up to your character, Angèlica, and confronting her about, hey, we're trying to destroy Mackenzie's character, who is this innocent girl. This isn't right,
And my response is, if you don't do it, somebody else will do it.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That is my response. If you don't help me, someone else will.
Yeah.
What?
And then that's enough to convince him to go, all right.
Okay, well, I guess
do
I
it."
will. Yeah. Well, so I'm not trying to say that this guy's, a saint. Obviously, he is
Oh,
not.
thank you for that.
No.
Just a little lower than a
very,
saint.
very will publicly
I'm sure I wouldn't have
disavow.
confused him with
No. That's why, we're trying to separate that fiction and stuff. But yeah, it's finding those moments that I think is really interesting for our characters.
Well, and I think in this time, being gay openly in the 90s was just not a thing that you would do.
Yeah.
And I think that's what separates me from some of the younger cast, where I'm like, oh, this was a big thing of you didn't want to come out because you were going to be a target and people were going to bully you. And I mean, you look at Matthew Shepard and things that happened around that time period, you did not want to come out. And so for him to be blackmailing this football player of, you do what I want or I'm going to tell everyone you're gay, it's horrid.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so, the culture's changed so much now, but in that time capsule, it's bad. It's terrible.
Do you end up actually blackmailing? Does it work?
No, I don't think I publicly...
You blackmail
I do
him.
blackmail him. I don't think I come out and reveal the pictures or whatnot.
Okay.
But yes,
But
absolutely.
that's not true because it's revealed in your journal.
Oh.
That's true. But by that point...
And not that your character necessarily revealed that, but it is
true.
revealed.
But yes, but it's
that's in the journal.
documented. Yeah.
Wow. So what is your character doing, Catherine? Is she as devious and manipulative and
Keeping records. I think, again, mine is motivated to take men down.
Yeah.
So, though I don't really condone destroying the other woman, I am very much for destroy the person who's wronged you. She is kind of going that route. I'm going to destroy Court, my ex-boyfriend, through Cecile, and that'll ruin him. Because that's just kind of the way she feels like she has to do it. Because otherwise, if she goes straight after her ex, they're going to know it was her. But if she goes after Cecile, then it's a little hard to trace. I think she's smarter than him. I think she's smarter. I think she works things out smarter than Sebastian. She protects herself more than he does. But she's also has a cocaine problem.
Good God Almighty!
So I have a rosary that is a cross that opens up to a spoon.
Of course.
And so that's used throughout the show. And again, it's just showing that, rich people have a different set of rules and we kind of play our own game versus everybody else.
So he will destroy someone just randomly, any random person.
Oh, sure.
Does she do it on only if she has like a real motivation?
It seems that way.
Yeah.
That she doesn't seem to go after people randomly.
Yeah.
It seems like if there's a cause, she will do it. Otherwise, again, she has to be the popular student body president, and I have to put this, Mary Sunshine vibe on to be respected as a woman. So why would I get sloppy like that? But he can get away with doing that.
So does your character Mackenzie come out clean? Come out like the hero? Do you survive all of this? She's setting you up to destroy you. Do you survive that?
I think so. Cecile definitely ends up happy and better
Because
off.
she's just icky.
Because, she's definitely manipulated and her reputation had the potential to be tarnished by...
Does she ever catch on?
I don't think she catches on until...
Ever in the play?
Well, Annette gives Cecile the journal, Sebastian's journal.
God, yeah.
And I think that's when the picture kind of becomes clearer for Cecile. And then when she distributes it, she has a nice moment with Catherine where she kind of sticks it back at her like, I know what you did. And
she
we're
hands
not
me the
friends
journal.
anymore.
So, but there's no revenge in that, right? You just let her know that
If
you
the
know.
show went on, there may be.
Yeah.
But where the show stops, no, not yet. But I think there's implication that this is
The
gonna
Catherine
destroy
in the
her
making.
life. No.
mentor her?
I think that it's like the world is a better place without him, and the world is a better place without the power I had.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Lot to digest.
But yeah, I'm probably not going to sleep for a couple of days.
Wait till you see it.
Yeah.
Really.
I'm not so sure I really want to see it. Yes, I would love to see it. So, what else are you guys doing? I mean, is this it for the summer for you guys, or? I mean,
So this is ACT's
you're
last
some of the
show.
busiest people I know. You really are. I mean, you don't seem to ever stop.
I'll stop when I'm dead or when a taxi hits me.
Same result. Yeah.
I will say, I don't understand. The taxi's going real slow.
Take us out.
Oh, hang on there. Hang on, Sloopy, hang on. Whew, you are listening to NH Unscripted, and mother of God, have we covered a lot of territory. You have been listening to us, and hopefully we'll continue here as we come back to 1450 AM, 103.9 FM in Concord, 101.9 FM for the beautiful souls in Manchester. NHTalkRadio.com is the URL. Yeah, time to get a little diversion. We'll be right back. Phew. All right. Took a shower after that discussion. We are back. You are listening to NH Unscripted. I am your happy to be out of the home host, Ray Dudley. They let me out once in a while. I kind of sneak out between the Jell-O and the applesauce. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM in Concord, 101.9 FM for the beautiful souls in Manchester. NHTalkRadio.com is the URL. And you know what goes on out there. There's a button where you can listen live to this show or whatever other show you happen to wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning and need to listen to. Just push that button. I don't even know what goes on at 3 a.m. What is it, opera out there at 3 a.m.? I have no idea. Anyway, also out there, you can find archives of this tremendous show and all the other programs that take place here at the studios. They're all out there for you in a drunken stupor to listen to. Anyway, the cast of Cruel Intentions, some of them, are in the house, and we're going to take a little diversion. What are y'all doing for the rest of the summer towards the end of the year? I'm busy and I'm old. What are you guys doing?
I think we've gone too hard too long.
Yeah.
We're taking a little break soon.
Yeah,
but right now I'm working on Addams Family, the musical.
Who's doing that?
Kids Coop Theater. So it is with the children.
So it's the kids' version.
No, it's the full version.
What?
And so that's going up July 26th through 28th at the Derry Opera House. And this is the first show that Kids Coop will be competing with the New Hampshire Theater Awards. They've never been part of it before. So, the adult side has done it, and I think finally they're ready to let the kids try one and see how it goes. And it's a really talented cast. I think my youngest is 10. He's playing Pugsley, and he's adorable. Yeah. He's the cutest. Brady Harlow is playing Pugsley. Cute as a button. Super duper talented. And then my oldest, it goes up to 19, so...
And how's the show going?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I'm not a big fan of the show personally. I like the concept. I'm not a big fan of Andrew Lippa and his music, but the kids are really rising to the occasion, and they're taking it real seriously, and I think they know that, we've never competed a show before, so they're bringing it.
Yeah? They understand the stakes here?
I think so.
Yeah?
I really do, and I probably got 3 emails today while kids are at school going, hey, can I meet with you to go over this? I have questions about, they're on it, they're advocating for themselves, and especially with how young they are, I'm pretty impressed, to be honest.
So you have young kids playing Lurch and
we
Uncle
got some
Fester
construction stilts for Lurch. His head hits the ceiling.
Oh,
right
that's
now.
funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so
that's the kids.
That's the fun part of that is I have this week with Cruel Intentions. I go into Tech Week for Addams Family next week. Whoa. On Sunday, I close Addams Family, and we move Cruel Intentions in. Isn't that fun?
It's what we live for, really. Let's face it. It's all about the rush. It's all about the rush. Garrett, what are you up to?
Yeah, I'm kind of in the camp where after Cruel Intentions closes, at least as far as I know right now, I'm taking a little bit of a breather just because I often work with you, Angèlica, with a lot of the shows that we've done. So
at Actor Singers,
yes, sometimes it has been, but yeah, with ACT and Actor Singers and a bunch of other groups.
You were in a show at MAP as well.
Yeah, exactly, and Wyndham too. So it's a long ride, but it's a fun ride, and it very rarely stops. So this right now, kind of looking at maybe a couple months break after Cruel Intentions, which we'll see, but breaks are not ever a bad thing for me, at least.
They rarely come from
me. They rarely come around.
So this is an intentional one.
Yeah. So I think that if there were something on the pipeline, then, I probably would jump right in.
I was going to say, I do feel like if I was so actually in October, he'd be like, okay.
I won't even go there.
No, don't say anything you can
So what's your limit
on
how far you'll go? To do it an hour ride? Will you an hour
You've
ride?
driven up to Lincoln to do shows.
I have driven up to Lincoln. I think if I had to regularly go somewhere for a rehearsal, I think it would probably be 30 to 40 minutes is probably my limit.
Yeah, the comfortable part. Yeah.
Once we get past that, it's every day or every other day for rehearsal.
Lincoln's a tough drive.
Mm-hmm.
It's just long. It's an hour on the highway.
It's
It's
a beautiful drive, but it's a long one.
Yeah, I know. Mackenzie, welcome. Welcome back to the conversation.
Yeah. So I, on the other hand, drive over an hour every time, and
You
I have
do?
for years. Yes. For 5 years, I was up in Plymouth at school, and I would commute down an hour to an hour and a half to do these shows. Once you start working with Angèlica, you can't stop.
Oh, that's so
It's a little bit of a cult mentality here.
So cute.
And I moved out of Plymouth finally, but now I'm down on the seacoast, so it's still about an hour.
You're out on the sea, Portsmouth area-ish?
A little north. I'm up near Dover.
Oh, my God.
So, but it's fun. I would work elsewhere, but I just love doing it with my friends.
Yeah? There's plenty of work out there, I'm sure.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm also headed for a bit of a break, but as Angèlica said, if she was like, hey, we're doing this thing, I'd be like, okay, I'm there. I always think I'm going to take more breaks than I am, and then she'll bring something up, and I'm like, okay.
Well, the last time I took a break, it lasted, I think, a week and a half. And then I signed on to Fight Direct, She Kills Monsters in Lowell. and just didn't tell anyone. I was trying to keep it a secret because I knew everyone was like, "You're gonna take a break," and we'll see how long it lasts. I can't make any promises.
So since they're all waiting to see what you're going to do next, the onus falls on you to let them know what are they going to be doing next.
Yeah.
Plans? Nothing for the rest of the year? I know what...
Technically, no. Nothing for the rest of the
What?
year as of right now.
Seriously?
But that has not stopped me.
Dude, there's 6 months left. 5 months left.
Is there?
I think so. If you really look at it,
August, September. October. Yeah. That can't be.
I know I have a show in March going up, and that's the mixed show with the kids and the adults at KCT and ACT. That'll may audition before the new year, but we probably won't start till the new year. We think we did that with Big.
Yeah.
We had auditioned before in December and then started in January.
You will not go 5 months without doing something.
Probably not.
I mean, that's a huge time for people who like to perform.
Yeah.
I don't like
5 months?
I don't like to perform.
Oh, that's you have made that apparent in previous conversations.
But the NHCTAs is something we normally do, and we have been kind of putting off making a decision on. And I think it would be kind of foolish to not do it, but that would go up in September. And then I'm starting to work on the theater awards next year. I'm directing and choreographing.
Ooh.
So
that's a huge lift. There's so many people involved.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot, but I think having more than 2 months to prep it this time will be better.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, I signed on pretty late last year, and it became a large undertaking.
It's large as it is.
Much larger. And thankfully, Brian Halperin was a huge asset in helping me get what I needed and being a fantastic resource, which he sure didn't have to be. But thankfully was willing to be. And then I know Garrett had performed and presented awards last time. So I'm sure that audition will be coming up soon, too.
Yeah, I would think, right? So when does that go up? February? Junior?
It's going up first week of February, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you can't wait too long. I mean, that would be towards the end of this year.
Right.
And Garrett, you going up to Lincoln for a
Ghostlight? Yeah.
Ghostlight.
I did enjoy my haunted house experience. Yeah. I definitely would like to do it again.
That's October.
Mm-hmm.
So that could
give me a little bit of a break
your
until
months
October.
are chipping away now.
Well, if that'll book me in October, then we'll find something in September, and we'll go back the clock.
I'd say normally December we hard take off.
Yeah.
But with the theater awards, it was a little more challenging.
Yeah.
To do that.
Are there things happening out there right now that you would like to get a chance to see? You have friends or any shows that are on the schedule? No?
Yeah.
Yes?
My boyfriend is doing Legally Blonde down at Prescott Park in Portsmouth right now.
Okay.
I 100% recommend everyone sees it.
Have you seen it already?
I've seen it 4 or 5 times.
Oh.
Legally Blonde is one of my favorite shows. It has a really special place in my heart. I was a sorority girl. And it's an excellent production. Plus, it's in the park. Like, you don't get many opportunities to see theater outdoors.
Yeah, again, summertime. I love there's something about it.
Yeah.
You know, and really, for me, it holds a very special place. I'm not sure why. I think just when I was younger, I would go to, like, the North Shore Music Festival and theater, and they'd be doing musicals all the time, and you'd go outside. It's nighttime. It's cool air. I don't know, just something about summertime theater where it doesn't cut it in the fall and the winter. You know, it's harsh weather, and you're going out to do a favor, more or less, than just the show you want to see.
Well, on top of that, Rose Chafee, who is playing our Blaine Tuttle, is in Heathers with RGC at
Heathers
Manchester.
is coming up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's and they'll be in their second weekend next week, and we're all planning to go see it together as a cast. So,
woo! Well, congratulations! We made it. Part 2 of Cruel Intentions. Talk about that. You have been listening to NH Unscripted, Mother of God. Now we got to go out there and face the heat and the humidity. Welcome to summertime in New England. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM. Those are Concord based on your Sony Walkman. 101.9 FM for the beautiful souls in Manchester. NHTalkRadio.com is the URL. Folks, get out. It's summertime. Go have dinner. Go see a play. I'm telling you, it's a life-changing experience. That's all I'm not going to hammer you on it. Just go do it.